Hello and welcome. This is the Rao's IAS podcast. Here with me today is the ever elusive Rahul sir. Just like 11 मुल्कों की पुलिस जैसे डॉन का इंतजार करती है, वैसे ही राउज आईएएस के स्टूडेंट राहुल सर के ओपिनियन का इंतजार करते हैं. Sorry sir for waking you up from your hibernation. I hope you don't mind.
I don't have choice, I guess.
So, sir, today in newspapers and on news websites, we found that the Iranian president has died in the helicopter crash. So, this in a way brought my attention towards the changing political system of Iran and how is it different from, say, the existing political systems of republics like India and US?
Yes, Ankit, I guess this is the first main thing to understand that what kind of political system we have in Iran. To understand the political dynamics, first it is always important to understand the political system of that country. So, once you understand the political system, much of the political aspects you will start understanding. So, when we use the word that Iran is a theocratic republic, so it is republic, but it's a theocratic republic, and how it is different from Indian and the US republic is when we say republic means the head of the state is elected. Now in India the head of the state is president, but we have indirect elections for the president in India. In US there's a direct election for the US president. So because the head of the states are elected in both India and US, that's why it is known as republic. In Iran also, the head of the state, that is the president who has died in the helicopter crash, is also the elected one. But the supreme leader of Iran is the supreme leader, the final interpretation of the political and the religious laws is the Khomeini.
Ayatollah Khomeini.
Ayatollah Khomeini. Yes, so he is the supreme leader. Now he holds this position without any election and he is known as the supreme leader. So he's the final interpreter of all the laws. So more than the president, power lies in his hand. And the state of Iran is being run by the Sharia law. And that is why it is known as theocratic republic.
Yes,
so when we say the state is run by Sharia law, here also we can, if we want to dig deep in this, now the state of there's a political entity called Taliban who also wants to run the state through Sharia law. So there's a different interpretation of Sharias as per the Shia sect and the Sunni sect. So Taliban as an entity wants to govern the state through the Sunni sect of the interpretation of Sharia, and Iranian Shias, they want to run it through the Shia interpretation. That is why Iran is known as theocratic republic. Okay. Now Saudi is a monarchy. There's only the monarchs are the supreme head. Okay. No one who is the elected one. So that is why Saudi is known as a monarchy. And Taliban wants to create an Islamic emirate where the power will be in the hand of the feudal lords. Like UAE, on the line of UAE, United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
So this is the difference between these types of political system, and this is why Iran is known as theocratic republic. The head of the state is elected, that is the president, but the supreme leader is the final interpreter of religious and political laws, and this kind of system prevails in Iran since 1979 Iranian Revolution, because before that Iran was also a monarchy. Under the Pahlavi dynasty, that is the Shah of Iran, but 79 revolution changed the political system of Iran, which changed the entire geopolitics of West Asia.
Yes, sir. So now you talked about the geopolitics of West Asia. I'll ask you one more thing, that how is the death of a Iranian president will already change the volatile geopolitical situation in the region? Also because Iran has been a party to many conflicts, primarily which is its first was an indirect conflict with Israel, which has now become direct. So what are your opinions, sir, about that equation?
Ankit, for sure, the hardliners of Iran, they will going to put the blame on the state of Israel for this crash. Though the official statement has yet to come. So we are discussing when there is still no official statement from the state of Iran yet. But as per my expectation, for sure, hardliners will going to put the blame on the state of Israel, that there is a covert hand of the state of Israel could be behind this particular crash. Now, Israel and Iran are in a state of war or a proxy war since 1979 Iranian Revolution, and Iran, the state of Iran, supporting violence against Israel through its proxies. That is Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis in Yemen. So that is why, and Israel see these proxies as terrorist entities or terrorist group, and that is why Israel see or consider Iran as a supporter of terror in the region. But this time, rather than attacking Israel through its proxies, we have seen a direct attack on Israel by the state of Iran when Iran launched so many rockets towards Israel. And after that, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, he came up with the statement that Iran has to face, or the leaders of Iran has to face the severe consequences of this. And because of this statement, uh, probably the hardliners for sure will going to put the blame on Israeli leadership for this particular crash.
So, sir, the president who died, Mr. Raisi, he was also a hardliner. So, since coming into power, he, in a way, went ahead with the Iran's nuclear program, that Iran started enriching the weapons-grade nuclear uranium. And how do you think the attempts of Iran towards going forward with their nuclear program, how does it affect the US and the West-led efforts to tackle the non-proliferation in the region?
So, first thing for sure, what I can see is escalation of tensions between Israel and Iran. Already so much volatility and instability prevails, and the tensions are bound to escalate and increase. Now, a nuclear deal and agreement was signed when he was the president, that is the JCPOA, with Iran. And it was US President Trump who came out of that particular nuclear agreement and put severe sanctions on Iran. But in the light of the recent escalations, Iranian leaders clearly gave the statement that they are going to start their nuclear enrichment program again. So, nuclear arms race is on the cards in the region. So, this particular crash will going to put a failure on the US efforts towards the nuclear proliferation. As what I can see is there's a escalation of tensions, and for sure Iran will further going to increase its efforts towards the enrichment, and this will increase pressure on the monarchy of Saudi, that if Iran will able to conduct a nuclear weapon test, and the monarchy of Saudi has clearly stated if Iran will become a nuclear weapon state, they will not shy away from their own nuclear weapon. And the nuclear arms race in the region probably will escalate because of this new incident.
So, sir, India is a key player in the region, has good relations with Israel also and Iran also. Now, only last week, India signed its agreement with Iran to operate the Chabahar port. Now, how does this increased risk of geopolitical tensions, how does it affect India's interest primarily in the region and most importantly with respect to Iran?
Now, India is pursuing a look west policy. And we have given a lot of push in the recent times towards our look west policy. We have stopped looking towards West Asia only as a region which is where we are here only for our energy security, as our strategic interests are also increasing in the region. Now, for us, both Israel and Iran are very important, and we have started seeing towards both as our strategic ally. Israel is important for us for counterterrorism and for our increased defense engagement, while Iran is very important for us to reach to Afghanistan and further to Central Asia.
Central Asian republics. Yes.
Now, we do not have a direct connectivity to Afghanistan, and to reach out to Afghanistan, we need Iran. And here lies the strategic importance of Chabahar for us. So, for India, the biggest challenge for India is always to balance out Israel-Iran, as Israel consider Iran as a supporter of terror, as I earlier said, and Israel expects from us to cut down ties with Iran. But we are not in a position to do so because in our scheme of things, Iran is a strategic ally of ours. So if tensions will further escalate between Israel and Iran, it will going to put a lot of challenge on for us that how we are going to balance both. So if Iran drift towards China as escalation of tensions between West, the US and Iran is under severe sanctions, and already Iran's alignment with Russia and China is increasing. So if Iran will drift more towards China, it will going to put a lot of challenge for India's look west, and it can impact India's reach to Central Asia and in Afghanistan, which will going to have its impact on our core interest. So for we cannot deny this, that India will going to keep a close eye on these new political updates, and India has to try to find ways to somehow balance both Israel and Iran, as both are the strong regional players of the region.
So, sir, thank you, sir, for your opinion on the topic. Now, if you guys have any doubts related to this particular session, please make sure to ask them in the comment section down below. And we'll make sure to wake up Rahul sir again from his beauty sleep so that he answer all your questions in an appropriate manner. Until then, we'll see you again. Until then, a very good